Welcome back to Armstrong Acres. This week, I think I'm going to show you around a little bit. This is a really cool property with a lot of history. We kind of talk a lot of smack because there's a lot of junk laying around and a lot of work for us to do. But in and amongst all that work, there's a lot of stories to be told. I don't even know half of them. But I'm going to go around this week and I'm going to clean out a lot of these piles that are laying around so that we can get them mowed over. Maybe we'll talk a little about what happened there while we look. Now, Bean is actually out mowing right now, but she skipped this whole section here. This is where, if you go back to one of our early videos from last fall, there was a large thresher machine in here. Now, I still don't know exactly what a thresher machine is. I'll try and Google it and put some information up here in the video.
Threshing machines reduce the physical strain of removing kernels from the straw. Engineers ran the steam engine, while threshing crews made short work of piles of harvested grain. Laborers bagged the clean grain in preparation for market. Farmers used the whole grain plant. They used the straw as animal bedding, and they baled it for transport and sale to urban markets.
This is where it sat, and so, of course, things had gotten piled up against it, and then brush grew up all around it, and so it wasn't mowed for a long time. As you've seen in videos, we've slowly started putting down sod that we've taken from other parts of the yard. So we've got a nice strip there in the middle, but the rest of this is still pretty weedy. And we've got one little pile here that I'm gonna take a look at, see if we can get this thing emptied out so we can just mow. So what's even in here? I should probably be wearing gloves because there's probably pokey stuff. There's lots of this sticky weed that I hate so much. Yep, that's got thorns on it. Oh, but this has already been pulled up. This is just laying there. This isn't even growing. So these just need to be moved over to the burn pile. So I did tell Bean to mow in here earlier. She says it's too bumpy, but I don't see anything bumpy other than this pile that I'm working on. So I think we're gonna get her back in here. Easy peasy. Now it can definitely be mowed over. And here she comes now. Of course, she went for the hardest spot first. You're not stuck. Go backwards. Then go in another spot. You gotta turn your blades on. There you go. She's trying real hard. Mom wins. So she just left the big old chunk out there.
On top of me going to the gym, me working whatever 50 hours a week, and then coming home and working on like the deck and the house, we also have to keep up with the mowing. And it probably doesn't seem like that big a deal, but it's several acres. We have a very small mower, and it's been raining nonstop, and this is very fertile soil, so mowing is actually a major pain, and it takes usually 2 days to get it all done. However, Bean does know how to run the mower. She mows a fair amount whenever I can get her on it. But the problem is that over the years, because of the amount of crap that my grandfather amassed, we have piles everywhere. Little things that we mow around. And so a lot of times I have to go out and do a big outline so that she can then follow the inside. So the plan is I'm going to weed eat and knock down a lot of these piles. And then Charlotte is going to go through the piles, see what's in them. Some of them are holes that we have dirt now that she can fill the holes. Don't have to mow around that anymore. Some of them are like, there's animal traps behind the barn. Once I weed eat it down, she can get those out, get them put away. There's a million of the piles of bricks. There's crap everywhere. However, one thing you've probably figured out from watching our channel so far, nothing is ever easy. And so I brought this weed eater from Texas with us. It's a good weed eater. It runs pretty well. However, the other day, the pull cord ripped off. So the start of this is I have to fix the weed eater so that I can weed eat, so the trailer can go through the piles, so that Bean can then mow. Okay. This is more than a little frustrating. Generally speaking, a pull start is a very simple thing to replace. But as things get more modern, they get more convoluted and require 10,000 more things to be removed and changed and fixed, and so here I am, doing just that. I might get lucky. It looks like there's still a fair amount of string on there. If that's the case, I may be able to just salvage the string and tie the handle back on. Well, that's where it broke. You'll notice that my workbench from about 15 videos ago is nice and tidy. Okay, that's good news. Just gotta get put back together. Got the string back out, got it hooked back up. I've been flipping this thing upside down about a dozen times, so it might be flooded. Oh, you. Nope. No go. I didn't wind that spring enough. I'm going to eat dinner. I'm over it. We'll try again tomorrow.
I don't know if you guys remember the dogwood that I rescued from the front porch when I was digging out the ferns. I planted it and it wasn't looking great. It was getting kind of brown around the edges here, but I just came now and it's got a brand new little stalk here. Actually, those leaves look different. That is not the same thing. Let's see what that is. Oh, dang it. It's a walnut, which is what all of these are, which means some little animal planted this here. This is Oreo. Oreo's right here behind Socks, behind the trees. I can see where it's been dug into. Man, that thing sprang up fast.
All right, whoa. That's one way to sit down. It is next day. Gonna take this stupid weed eater apart again, put it back together again. This time I'll be smart enough to remember to rewind the spring, hopefully. But camera's about to die, so I'll show you if I get it right.
Story of our life is something doesn't work. Bryan is working on the weed eater right now. The pull string pulled out, but we've got this little battery powered Mama Jamma that I've been working with for a little bit. It goes for about 20 minutes at a time. So I'm working on these spots here, weeding them out to see what we can find inside, if anything, and we're gonna level them out, get it to where we can just mow over the top. This one here had a bird's nest in it, but the birds have hatched, so I assume we're good to go. Let's take a look. Yeah, the birds were right here, so I think we're good to go. We can clear it out. So far, I'm not seeing anything. Oh, I ran out of stringer line before I ran out of battery. Crazy, okay. Well, we got most of it. I don't see anything in here that we cannot just mow over. It's just not grass, it's weedy here for some reason. I don't know why. Ouch. I got a splinter over on the other one. I'll show you here in a minute. So, yeah, I say we start mowing this. Easy peasy. All right, there's one less spot. This one here was huge. I mean, it went out at least to here, all the way around. You can see where I weed-eated it down. Tall and grown up. I couldn't get them all weed-eated down. I mean, this is a tree. These are trees. I have to get in here and pull them out. This guy here, there's a bunch of this and it's very thorny. That's where I got the splinter from a little bit ago, and it hurts like the dickens. So a few of those I've got cut down. I just need to get gloves to get them pulled out. And then some berries around here on the backside, which I can transplant. I know I hit them with a weed eater pretty hard, just trying to see if I could get them down, but I didn't. So this spot is really lumpy. It's been dumped in. It's real soft and squishy. This is wood, but I mean, so I'm gonna guess tree stump. I'm gonna guess there was a tree here. Somebody cut it down and I'm now pulling chunks of the stump up. Generations of Armstrongs have been mowing around this stump to where now it's just totally rotted. So we can get in here just with a shovel probably, get these trees dug up and even it out a little bit, and this spot will be cleaned out too. I am actually thinking about transplanting the berries. We've got several spots where there are berries growing, and it would be cool to have them all concentrated in one spot because they're just wild now. It just depends on how froggy I get to feeling, I guess. This is a walnut orchard behind me, so if we had a berry orchard too. We've also got wild apples growing, walnuts, butternuts, chestnuts, blueberries, grapes. So we got quite a bit. So I also weeded it here around the barn. When we mowed, we had to do a wide swath because of this wooden board laying here. And there's all kinds of stuff laying in the grass. I can feel it. So we'll start, let's see. Rusty old saw blade. I'm gonna guess this had something to do, this wooden board, probably something to do with pulling horses. Watch out, Jack. Holy smokes. There we go. Yeah, that's been there a minute, and it's pretty rotted. I don't know if you can see, it's notched, like a wooden dowel in there to hook something to. A big notch here with this very specific shape, like horse-drawn plow or something maybe. And it's also got a very specifically shaped notch here and here, but it's rotted. So for our purposes, it's going to the burn pile. Oh, it's so windy. Oh, I'm stepping on all kinds of stuff. Oh, well, I just got there saying how windy it is, didn't I? All right, behind the barn, it's a little better protected. I can feel so many more things in here than I can see. Let's start with what I can see though. Wheels, plastic, or like a rubberized plastic. So they're not ridiculously old. They do have a steel insert. Are they plastic? Maybe they're not. The wheels are metal, but it's hard to tell what this is actually made out of. I guess they had rubber a long time ago. So we got 1, 2, 3 of those. I don't know where the 4th one went. An old pickaxe. I can feel things I cannot see. Oh, you know what? I do know what these are in here. And shame on us, because we've already dug this stuff out once before. Oh, wait. Maybe not this. No, yeah. I don't remember if it made it to the video or not, but when we were moving in the metal sheets for the garden beds, we were going through this stuff. Get off of there. I believe this is a well pump. It is heavy, very heavy. And then I think that there are a bunch of traps in here. Yeah, small game trap. What's this? I don't know what this is. Wickware brake lining. Brake, it's a brake for maybe that horse-drawn plow thing. If anyone knows what any of these things are, please feel free to share. This looks like the cover for some, like a chain, a belt of some sort. It says Speedex, Ravenna, Ohio. Oh no, this is the well pump. So if that's the well pump, yeah, I should have known. This doesn't even look like a pump now. I'm looking at it. So this, okay, this is the well pump. This has got 2 brackets to mount it. Maybe at one point this was some sort of a, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a hydraulic or something. And now it's just rusted shut. I don't know, it looks like it's separated down there, but this is firmly fast to this pole. Anybody, any ideas? This thing, I just want to show you what this looks like laying here. These teeth. Isn't that crazy looking, just laying there? Let's pull it up. Let's see what it is. Oh, well. These are obviously not that old. There's a chain. A lot of chain. Another trap. And another trap. Pulled up a big old clump of grass with it. What in the world? Maybe some sort of tiller? It's heavy. These look like bolts. Down here on the bottom. I don't know. Any ideas, anybody? Yep, there it is. Here's that big trap. All right, what else is in here? I don't feel anything. I think we got it all. So these are the panels that we got and made the beds out of. I just lifted them up so they were leaning up against the wall of the barn. And this is underneath. So serrated up here. It's got a crank handle that doesn't turn, but I'm guessing holds it fast. Somehow it looks like it makes this part slide up and down the saw. I don't know. Any ideas?
I'm gonna try this again, see if it works better than last night. I'm not 100% hopeful. And there it is. 7 times. I checked that and pulled it and it never once did that. Yeah, I'm over it. That's how the whole day's going.
I weed eated this out a little bit ago. I didn't even realize how deep it was till I got the weed eater down in there, but it's a pretty deep hole for 0 reason. There's absolutely no reason in the world for there to be a hole there. So, I'm gonna fill it in. Here's a wormy worm. All right, I'll have to get some grass seed for all these spots. What you doing, happy dog? See, I'm a happy dog. I'm a happy dog. So Bryan's having a rough day. I made margaritas. I mean, it's almost 5, so I think we're doing pretty good. Plus, Bean's spending the night at a friend's house, so we're kid-free tonight. So I made margaritas. You probably see there's green floating in there. There is a tequila called 21 Seeds that makes a cucumber jalapeno tequila, and it's delicious.
Oh, you're a cat.
But it can get pricey, you know, when you drink margaritas all weekend. And so we bought a bottle of regular tequila, and last weekend I cut up a bunch of jalapenos and cucumbers and put it in the bottle, and it's been in the fridge all week. And I gotta say, I think it's even better this way. Plus, we're getting our veggies while we drink. What could be better? He might be mad, but he looks good.
This is another thing that we mow around that would be easily solved. Every time you move it, the legs fall off because they just push into place. So I have some self-tapping screws I'm going to run into it so that we can just grab this thing and move it when need be. So this is another pile. This consists of the crap that we took off of the back of the house and moved from the back of the house when we started the deck. This is what I mean about stuff that you move it so that you can start a project and it just creates a new project. Now we've been mowing around this mound of wood when we should have just taken it straight to the burn pile a month ago, 2 months ago. But we can weed eat this down, load it in the truck, take it to the burn pile. It's one less thing to mow around, one more thing that Bean can just kind of zip through here and help me get caught up on stuff so that we can start bringing better quality videos out to you guys, so I'm not quite so stressed. Well, I was gonna knock the stuff down and then we'd load it. Then
Okay.
I'll hit it some more, but that way, if there's any snakes or anything like that,
Snakes.
not like deadly poisonous Texas.
Exactly. What are we worried about, snakes? This is the wood that I took up from around the garden beds that I had laid down that had nails sticking up out of it. Gonna throw that in there too. I don't think I told you about that.
No. Hold on, drop this one, drop it. This and that other one below it, we might be able to use to cover that drain like I was talking about.
Okay, you want to just like put it out here?
Yeah, these aren't old boards, so they might still be sturdy enough.
Okay. Are you cleaning screws out of your gloves?
Yes,
Okay.
because I use my tool belt for work and for home, and when
Yeah.
I get to work, I take all the home screws out so I don't lose them and put them in my gloves.
But then you collect the work screws and bring them home.
Well, I don't pay for the work screws.
Exactly.
I pay for the home screws, so I don't want to just constantly lose them.
I'm sure Bradford and Bryan are okay with that.
If you saw how much we dropped, and they say, yeah, don't worry about it, it's whatever.
They are good dudes. Let's make a good fire.
Yes, it will. The gray water in our town flows everywhere into a drain that runs through our property. And there's an open drain on it over there and some high grass. It's not dangerous or anything, it's just a drain, but we have to mow around it. So the more you mow around it, you get these giant weeds. So what we're thinking is we're gonna take some of these, cut them into size, knock those weeds down, put them in place at ground level, put some of the remaining metal we have from when we built the raised beds on top of it. That way you can just mow straight over everything. That eliminates another big pot. That's a big spot we mow around.
Yeah.
So this will be great for that, because as it rots, who cares? We can get rid of it later. We're gonna put a grate over it at some point, but for now, this will work perfect.
What you think, Gus?
Testing out getting the spray cans ready when she did the...
Oh.
Yeah, we haven't moved it so long, the grass is hard to pull through.
I'm glad I could help.
Well, now that I screwed those in, it's not that big a deal.
So we'll come back tomorrow. We'll get this spot with the mower. Get the spot where we move the trailer with the mower.
I might, if I have time, I'm gonna cut and try to put those in and get that drain done.
All right, you want to show the drain?
Yeah.
Let's show the drain. You guys want to see the drain? So exciting. I think we actually did reference this in an earlier video. We said, don't ask. It's country things. I'm sure you can see he's weeding in here where we said there's a drain hole. And everything in our little village, the gray water kind of drains through here. Set up from a long time ago. Nobody's ever fixed it. No big deal. Back over here is the ash pile. That's where we throw all our coal ashes. In the winter, the ashes that come out of the furnace. You can probably tell it's pretty built up back there.
Oh, that killed it.
Oh, it just came off the charger.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
I've upgraded from the Iraq knife. Oh, these are the pokey ones.
What are you doing?
I'm macheteing them. What?
Can I see the machete for a second?
Yeah?
You're gardening.
What? These are plants.
Back up a little.
What the?
You machete. You don't saw.
I didn't saw. I was. What the? Who are you?
You can hit the ground with it. It's a machete.
Well, I'm doing that. Well, I'm hitting the ground though, not the plant. But I can't, it doesn't do that. It doesn't do that when I do it.
Do you want to trade?
Yeah. Wow, really making me feel like a wimp right now. That's pretty astounding.
Yeah.
So there's three pipes, hold on.
4. There.
So you've got a pipe. That pipe comes from our house. Then there's that pipe. And there's a bunch of rocks piled up, even over here. And then there's another pipe there that flows out to a creek we've got over there where you can see the grass is tall. It's a creek that runs out to the actual creek. Is this a thing we can show on YouTube?
But it's legal. It's not like it's illegal. It's just...
That's true.
You couldn't do this now. By today's code standards, this would be wrong, but because it existed prior to the code, it's grandfathered in. So if this stuff broke and had to be replaced, it would have to be changed.
I don't know how this breaks.
Well, let's just pray it never does.
I mean, it's already broken. There's something to break. Is cutting down this large tree with probably a dull machete. He actually did it. He cut that tree down. Look at that. With a machete. Is there anything this man can't do? Nobody I'd rather be building a homestead with than a man who can cut down a tree with a machete. Bryan just weed eated around the coal pile here, as you can see from all the huge plants laying over. So I was trying to pull some weeds out of the rose bush here. I found these giant metal pipes buried in there. And I also found that this rose bush is not in good shape. It's got a lot of leaves that are brown. It's still producing a lot of flowers, but it's got some sort of a fungus. Bryan said, it's been there 100 years, don't worry about it. I mean, I'm assuming this thing's been living on its own, flourishing. So here's the rose bush. I mean, it's not looking good. I wondered if maybe it was the giant pile of coal, but the coal has been piled here for years. Should dump that bucket out. Asking to breed mosquitoes there. So obviously this is our chimney. Goes up just from the furnace. It's not open inside the house. These guys, yeah, are really hard to pull up. I should go get my little hand trowel. That was smart. You sure help a lot less violently than your sister did. I've really got a lot of this cleared out. I'm thinking maybe the fungus on the roses is just, it's so compacted with, you know, it's up against the house and then the coal, and then there's just stuff growing all up through it. It's probably not getting a lot of ventilation, especially on this side of the house. The wind always comes from this way. So maybe if I can get some of this cleared out and then look up some organic fungus treatments, maybe we can get it saved. There's so much of this in there, it's hard to tell what's even going on. He's really getting a lot done over there. You can see where he's knocked down all out there by the road. This is the shop, by the way. Gus, you're in my shot. There, I mean, there's just so much. I can hardly even get in here to pull stuff out, so I'm just kind of having to slowly work my way back. Look at what we're getting. He's building the irrigation system. Whoa, what? Which is good. My raised beds are not getting nearly enough water, I think, because they're so big, the water goes down so much faster, and the plants in there are really struggling. So this will be nice. We'll turn it on, just leave it for a while. But look at these poor sad tomatoes here. These ones are not looking good. My other tomatoes are looking pretty decent, but these ones, not good at all. So you can really tell the difference. These are the tomatoes that are in the short beds. The short bed ones just look a lot healthier. I told you we have lots of berries everywhere. Well, this is one of those spots. Unfortunately, it hangs way out into the yard over here, and of course it's thorny. Now this has been hit by a lawnmower several times, and it just keeps coming back. But the berries are not why we are over here. The reason we're over here is for this yet another random pile. This was probably something cool at some point.
Yeah, I'm sure this was too.
You know what? I bet it was like those ants. Like a table or something.
Yeah, probably.
Well, I mean, that was a pretty tiny.
All right, one less pile. I'm gonna pull right over there. We'll get that stump.
When we started the channel, there was a tree here. If you go back to, I think it's the same video as the thresher that I was talking about the other day, you can see where our friend Ed, who hauled the thresher out, he also used his skid steer to knock this old tree over. It's what we were burning when we were burning stuff. Oh, when we were cleaning out the shop. The giant tree that was in there was this tree. So now we just need to get this little spot cleaned up, and then we can start mowing here too. Woo! Woo! Isn't that sexy?
Bean put the sod over here that we had gotten out of the where she built the pavers. Shock of all shocks, 9-year-old didn't do the world's greatest job of compacting it. It makes it really hard to mow. It hits the chunks and wants to chop them up and mess the mower up. So we are going to run it over with a truck. Hopefully that'll do enough to smash it down to where the mower will run over it. Should. The ground here is pretty soft, so the weight of this diesel truck should do the job. Not bad. One less thing to mow around.
He's got all this knocked down, so the only thing we have left to do to cover it up is need to get this big pile knocked down, and then we'll cut the boards so that they fit across. Bryan's been working his way farther and farther into the ash pile with the weed eater. So I started noticing more and more pieces of metal in here. I just pulled out a big pan. When I picked it up, the bottom just disintegrated into little pieces like this. So I thought I'd let you guys see as I very, very carefully pull it out. Oh my gosh, there's a lot. It looks like, oh, and it's just coming to pieces. Oh, so many pieces. Oh my gosh, it is deep. Oh, some kind of little bracket. Even it still has nails in it. I wonder if this was a barrel or something, maybe, because it had that round piece. This is like almost like a drawer pull. It looks like it's got a screw in the middle and nails on either side. Okay, I'm still finding more stuff. This is, what were those things called that would go down the stairs? Oh my gosh. Skeet. Holy smokes, you know what I'm talking about? The metal, and it was all twisted in a circle. Holy smokes, I can't remember. Anyway, that's what this looks like.
Everyone knows it's Slinky.
I'll think of it.
Well, we know yard cleanup might not be as exciting as some of the renovations, but unfortunately when it comes to living this kind of lifestyle, it's just an important part. With the limited time we have, having the yard cleaned up so that Bean's able to mow saves me time every day after work that I can come home and actually get things done on the house.
There's a lot of boring parts to trying to renovate and maintain a homestead. And we're committed to showing you guys this process, and so every now and then that you can see the reality of what we're doing around here. And honestly, it feels nice. I didn't even realize how much a lot of this outside stuff was bothering me, and it makes me really excited to keep going. You know, it just feels like you got a little bit more breathing room. It's nice to sit out here and enjoy this.
Absolutely. Makes the yard feel bigger. I'm sure it makes the neighbors a little happier.
Yeah.
Once we get a little farther, we'll do some major yard renovations, but this is a big step in freeing up time and making us enjoy the outside a little bit right before it gets nice like this.
Absolutely. You want to say it or you want me to say it?
I want to say it. Okay.
You gotta yell it.
Making progress.
That's right, we're making progress. You want to say it? No. It's the Oreo in her.